Hello and welcome back to the Misfits podcast, rated 5 stars on iTunes by Munged Out. He says, this podcast makes my pee hole smile.
What?
Very descriptive iTunes review there by Munged Out.
Nice. That's hot as fuck.
Nothing better than a urethral grin.
That's right. That's how you know you're really happy. I'm joined today by my co-hosts, Notorious, a.k.a. Matt.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. Oh, wait, it's not going to be Wednesday when the upload. God damn it.
Okay, do you want to redo that? Because that was embarrassing.
What just happened?
I'm joined also by Toby on the tally,
Hello.
Swagger Souls,
I have a rash.
and of course, joining us, a rare occasion, is Mason, a.k.a. Zuckles.
Yep, what's up, boys? Yep, feeling good.
He's finally back on the podcast
Give it 2 weeks.
2-week absence.
Yep.
Mason, what the fuck's been going on?
Oh, just being around the slumps, been having a bit of fun, getting up to a bit of mischief. Just another day in life, really.
Just not doing any work whatsoever. Just,
pretty
smoking
much.
a bunch of weed and jacking off.
Yeah, pretty much, man. That's about it, eh?
Usual.
Fuck.
I was saying to Mason before the podcast that we're probably well due for Mind of Mason part 2, but probably not the time for that today. Why don't you tell us, you had a fucking trip, didn't you? You basically stayed at Manager Ryan's house for a week and you went to Adelaide and you got up to a bit of mischief.
Yeah. So, he wanted me to come over and I was feeling a bit fucked, so I went over. And, we went to Adelaide, went to listen out. Shit was fucking hectic.
Listen out, it's like a music festival, right?
Yeah, it's a big festival. There was heaps of rappers there, like Rocky ASAP.
Yeah,
Like-
Rocky ASAP,
Rocky ASAP, Skies Lil.
Little Skies, yep. And yeah, dude, the mosh pit was fucked. Dude, cunts were jumping in left and right. And every now and then, a girl would jump in and dude, she'd get fucking dropped, bro.
Jesus.
It was hectic.
You gotta feel bad for the really short chicks who go to those concerts and just get fucking just bruised to hell the next day.
Dude, how do they do it, man?
You posted a video on Instagram, didn't you, of you doing a fucking backflip right when the drop hit, and it just looked nuts.
Oh, it was crazy.
You backflip, and then the drop hits, and everyone you just disappear into the crowd. You can't see you anymore. It rushes you.
I got moshed.
Do you come out with any scars? Did you come out with any scars?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm a bit of a fighter, so, it's just what I do.
Why have you got this weird, why are you talking like that?
What do you mean?
You're talking like I'm
It's like an
interviewing you, and
interview.
you're leaning back in your chair, yeah, well, a bit of a.
Don't know what you're on about, mate.
Oh, no big deal.
Any other experiences besides listen out?
Oh, so many.
Tell us about them, please. We need content.
So, dude, the weed over there, oh my god. Okay, so I had so many, I got so fucking chuffed while I was over there. And I'm telling you right now, that weed made me think that I shat myself, dude.
Right.
At least 4 times. And we were in a restaurant and we were so baked. There was 4 of us. And we were fucking sizzling. And there were people starting to fill up and get packed in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was a kind of a scuff restaurant, I don't know. But anyway, I was so fucking chuffed. And I got this feeling in between, just blah, yeah. So anyway, I thought I shit myself.
Classic Mason.
Yeah, and I'm to the boys, I'm boys, do you smell anything right now? What is there anything in there? Is there any fumes? And I was nervous as fuck, dude, because I legitimately thought I shit myself. And I'm autistic, and no one wants to tell an autistic kid that they've shit themselves, dude.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I was like, boys, come on, if I've shit myself, you got to tell me right fucking now so I can fix this problem. And yeah, tried to get it out of him, but obviously bag cop wasn't working. So went to the toilet. Checked, we were in the clear, and yeah, that whole time I thought I shit myself. But yeah, that was one of the many occasions.
I mean, the weed must have been good because you came home afterwards and all of a sudden you started using the word chuffed every other sentence to describe being
Chuffed. Dude, yeah, those boys use the word. It's fucking funny.
It's such a good one. It's such a good
It's
slang
a great
term.
word.
Yeah.
I've never heard it before until Mason came back from Adelaide.
Mason, that's a very commonly reported problem for people that get high or take psychedelics. They have something that's known as a phantom shit, where they think they've shit their pants, but there really is no shit there.
Yeah,
happens more often than you think.
Dude, it's like a belief. It's like a religion.
It's a religion.
Yeah, bro.
God just comes down and whispers in your ear, "Yeah, mate, think you shit yourself."
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty sure it was the type of underwear I had because the day like 2 days before, me and Ryan went clothes shopping and we got I got a shit ton of new underwear because I was going to Adelaide. I'm like, can't be washing my shit. So
Can you describe the feeling of how you thought you shit yourself? Did you like gamble on a fart and then farted and then it was wet, or like what's the deal?
I think it's anxiety related. I've had that feeling before. I always get the feeling where I always feel like I've pissed myself when I get high.
well, I mean, I have legitimately pissed myself when I'm high. Like, either just
tell.
on its own or of laughter. Like, I have legitimately pissed myself from laughter, dude.
Mason, have we told the story on this podcast of the time I did edibles for the first time in LA? You know, remember when?
Oh, I'm pretty sure we did. Like wait, I don't know.
Are you sure? I don't know if we told that on the podcast. Remember, Swagger, it was the night when I FaceTimed you and you were packing to come see us.
Dude, there is no way we haven't told that story, bro.
I think we might have, but let's just touch on it briefly in case we haven't. Fucking people get mad. But dude, that is the hardest I've ever laughed in my life. My first time doing edibles with Mason. I just remember taking them, not knowing what I was. Dude, you know what? I was thinking about this the other day in the shower. I was just thinking, I reckon I was more fucked on those edibles that night than I was on acid.
Yeah, bro.
100%.
Yeah.
Dude, we were like in a psychedelic fucking space, man. It was crazy.
Holy shit.
Like, I had no idea what to expect. I knew edibles were more potent than smoking. I knew I was going to have like a bit of an intense experience. I was not prepared, dude. Not prepared. Me and Mason were just fucking laughing for about an hour straight.
It was fucked. It was actually fucked because me and Cam sat down and we were literally just sitting there for hours. I think we just sat for hours, dude.
Dude,
like,
it was disconcerting how long we were sitting there just laughing at nothing. Like not even making conversation, just looking at each other, laughing, and like calming down, then looking at each other again and bursting into tears again. And then the cycle repeating for like 2 hours.
That was before PAX, right? Just before PAX?
That was before
Boston.
Yeah. So we must have told like the whole story. We must have. Let us know if we haven't, and we'll tell it next time. But fuck, man.
Either way,
that
man,
was crazy.
Yeah, edible sessions get me going because I love having a pick from the pile. Like, you know, I just gradually pick from the pile and eat more, dude.
Yeah. Then you think there's someone hiding behind a curtain trying to kill you.
Oh, yeah. Full thought there was a CIA agent behind my curtain at 6 a.m. going to kill me when I fell asleep. So that was epic. Oh, schizophrenic Andy over here.
You're just too fucking high. You just had too many edibles.
Dude, legit, I actually got scared because I thought I was like schizophrenic or something. But
yeah, well, when you're high for like 5 days straight on sativa edibles, it's gonna have an impact on your psyche, retard. It's just how it works.
I mean, it will. Yeah, it was like happening while sober too, which wasn't helping.
Yeah, well, the solution to that isn't to smoke more weed or to eat more edibles.
Solution for that?
No,
he's saying it's not a solution.
It's not a solution for that. Are you high now?
No.
What's the deal?
No.
The fuck thing with Mason is that I think after that LA trip and after you've been in that fucking crazy state, that weed-induced state for like 5 days, I think you've come home and you just get bored when you're sober. You just get bored with sobriety. So you seek it now. You seek going back into that fuck state. Yeah. Which is why, you know, everyone... You know, if you're following Mason on Instagram or Twitter, you see these fucked tweets and these fucked Instagram stories where he is just chuffed to the maximum potential. Just absolutely out of his mind.
Yep, it's hectic.
Okay, so in Adelaide, you got the phantom shits. Anything else meaningful happen while you were there?
I mean, I connected with those boys really well. Like, Ryan's group of friends are such fucking good people. And they all, you know, they were good to me.
So this is our manager Ryan and Sam's IRL friends.
Yeah.
They're just normal guys.
Yeah.
I haven't met I've met a couple of them. Like I met Chris, but you know, not all of them. They seem like good guys.
They are.
I mean, you kind of had I don't know if you want to talk about it. We don't have to, but you sort of had like a breakdown on Twitch before that trip. So I think you going and hanging out with the boys and just fucking having fun and taking a bit of a vacation was probably pretty good for you.
Yeah. That's what you needed.
But you're back home now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just at home.
Oh, yeah, I'm just at home.
Posted a video today.
Yeah, but that dude, like, that video is like a test. And I just didn't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was watching the intro and I was like, is this edited at all?
I was watching this one. I was like, dude, did he post this by mistake? Because this is just so abstract. It got better though. Like after the first minute,
Yeah,
that intro was just kind of.
It's just a solid minute of like confusion. Like, is this a Zuckles video?
Yeah,
I had no idea what was going
almost,
on.
It's like you're watching a live stream and he's trying to figure out his audio settings for a minute. That's literally what it felt like.
Fucking eating chips.
It's in so many bits. Like I was cutting it up into segments, and like the last bit's what I edited first. So that's like what I put all my energy into. So like the first half was just like, all right, yeah, fuck it, bro. See how we go with this. Because I want to make a montage, and I want to,
Like a Fortnite montage.
yeah, like a cool one though, just something epic.
Epic.
I mean, you made quite a few,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, you're fucking a good player, so that's the way to go, I'd say.
All right, mate.
But you should start doing content like Jay. Like Jay's moved more into a more kind of casual, like full game, just nutty game kind of thing with commentary.
That's what I've always kind of been doing, like with the Rust stuff. It's just it's just a bit different right now, I guess. Well, very fucking different. But
Do you still hate Fortnite?
Dude, I just need a way to talk shit.
Yeah. You get crazy when you can't talk shit.
Yeah, bro. I literally go mental, dude.
I would pick up Fortnite and I would play it again if they added proximity voice chat. That'd be so ideal.
But
it
they
would be
never
so
will.
amazing, dude.
They'll
I'd love
never
to just,
do that though.
Love to just shit on a kid and just hear the screaming. It's like in the old Call of Duty games, you shoot someone and then you hear their voice for like 3 seconds after you kill them, and then it cuts out.
Oh yeah.
So you shoot someone and he's like, "Fuck!" and then he throws his controller down.
Tries and fits as many swear words as possible into his 5-minute window, like opportunity to shit talk you.
It's so good.
Proximity is also just so great for those moments where you like have an experience where you actually like make peace with an enemy and just have like a little journey together, or you like fucking you just become friends with someone you should be killing.
And PUBG, that was so fun.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fun. Like you can reason, like in PUBG, you're held up in a house, someone's outside. You can like reason with the guy downstairs and be like, "Come on, man, like let's fucking work this out. We'll both go our separate ways," and like actually negotiate in kind of like joking way, because obviously like the goal is to kill each other. But
that's why I shined out a lot in Rust, because in that game, dude, all the possibilities are endless. Like,
That's why I love it.
yeah,
I can't fucking get Rust footage anymore, dude. It sucks so bad.
they've got a compass, they've got teams. Like, what the fuck?
I tried recording it like 2 days ago just to see like, oh yeah, easy. I'll get some easy Rust footage in like a 7-hour session. Didn't get shit. It fucking ran around a bunch of European people calling me a faggot and then shooting me in the head. It was pretty much the gist of it. It was very frustrating. It was like between Rust and Gary's mod, I don't think I can fucking record him anymore.
Yeah, well, especially when you're a YouTuber,
And shit at the
No one trusts me anymore. So I fucked myself.
I recognize your voice. You're that guy who fucking trolls everyone, right? Yeah, fuck you.
That's usually how it goes now. It's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, but I pray for a game, like just a major developer to just make a game like DayZ. That's just raw survival, voice chat, but done well and not a piece of shit.
And brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we really, like, all of us thrive off games that are targeted toward a more mature audience anyway, because our audience is more on the mature side. That's why I get railed against when I fucking post Fortnite, because
people seem
they
to
don't like
think that our audiences are really young, but they're just not.
Yeah.
Like they're not old, but they they're sort of like 16 to 24 sort of range.
Yeah.
Obviously there are some young people in there, but like our audience is a lot older than people seem to think from what people say in my live streams. It feels like people think we have a very young audience.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's impossible to avoid a younger fan base on YouTube, because they're the people who watch YouTube the most. So, for me, especially because, my channel's of a certain size, I've got probably quite a lot of people who are, younger than I would have liked to be watching my videos, but, whatever, God bless them, they're giving me views. But a majority of them, when we go to these meet and greets, man, they're fucking, they're on the older side.
Yeah. High school, college.
Meet and greets are pretty good.
They're fun. They're very good.
Like, I get hell angsty like in some of them though. Like when they're like just being around cunts, it's just fucking weird. Oh yeah, I want to play hide and seek with Click too.
Yeah,
that'd be hectic.
We should definitely do something with them at some point, just for the
fun.
meme.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because Click, by the way, for those you don't know, is a Australian kind of group with like Muselk, Loserfruit, Creator, Baza, Prestige Clips,
and Lannon,
and
Laserbeam.
Yeah, and they've only just kind of moved into a house together and sort of set up this sort of gaming group in Australia, which is I
They're
think
doing really
maybe-
well too.
I mean, us and them are like the first people to really kind of establish something in Australia, at least something that's of this size. So
Yeah, that's why we need a clash with them to decide who the underdog is.
it's so funny as well because we're at such opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of like
Exactly.
the content we produce. Like they're much more clean than us, which is not a bad thing. Like God bless them, do
Not at
whatever
all.
you want. But and we're like
We're
our whole
scuffed.
brand is
We're
scuffed.
fucking
So,
scuffed, dude.
Like any kind of collaboration would be very interesting because
Oh
I
my
refuse to
God.
yield on the brand that we have. Right, I refuse to kind of become be family friendly for the sake of a collaboration. So,
Bro,
but if they're open to that, fucking let's do
We
it.
got to scuff them up, dude. We got to Skype.
I was
we gotta
talking to
scuff
Craig.
up their Nike kicks, dude.
I was talking to Cray and Muzok, and they were both pretty keen to collaborate in some way.
Oh, yes. We got to spike them with edibles, bro. We got to do it.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude, some of those guys would totally party with us.
Dude, I know. Dude, like, it was,
Yeah.
I remember, dude, watching that video, it was actually, like, pretty wholesome because I'm like, fuck, that should be us. You know?
I want to get baked with Muzak. I want to try to outsmoke him.
I don't even know if
How
any of them
hard that would be.
publicly smoke weed. So
Yeah.
maybe let's not like tell people that they do because we
No,
don't.
I
know if
don't
they're
know,
doing
I
it.
don't
but
know
I
if
would
they do
I would
either.
I would like to convert Muzak into a pothead so I could smoke weed with him.
Just ruin his entire career.
What do you? I smoke weed. My career is not ruined. My career is built on weed.
No, I don't mean for publicity's sake. I mean like just make him. I don't know.
Just smoke weed and not make videos.
Yeah, it's really ruin his productivity.
Becomes a weed addict.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
That'd be so good.
Imagine one day I'm just in a garage with my Snapchat on. I'm just having a sesh with Musel.
He just goes full bogan. Like, totally transforms. Like starts wearing a wife beater everywhere. Fucking smoking cigarettes.
Fuck it,
That'd be
dude.
so fucking hilarious. Fucking Misfits is a literal virus.
Oh yeah,
It
totally.
affects people,
Jeez.
converts them into scuffed cunts.
Misfits just caught the scuffed virus.
What else? Oh, I know you've got a bit of a story, actually, because you did LSD again.
Okay.
If you want to share that with us, to our surprise, like, well, it's kind of a bit soon, but whatever. And you fucking decided to do it with your mates, so whatever.
Yeah, I was always promised I'd do it with them, but it was one of those things where I just wasn't comfortable yet, and that's why I was glad we all did it as a group together first in Australia. And now I'm just like, okay, now I have like some expectations. So I went camping for the weekend.
So when you say camping, do you mean like at a campsite, or was it in the woods, or what was the deal? Like how
It was kinda like-
how much of a camping was this?
It was like actual camping. Like we had tents and everything. It was out in the woods and shit.
Sweet.
But one of my friends is a pussy and he brought his Jeep, so he just slept in there with an air mattress and heated
Yeah,
shit like
what
a
a
fucking
pussy,
bitch.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is fucking-
Who would do that?
Reminds me of two children.
Yeah.
So how long were you out like camping for? How many nights did you sleep in the tents?
Oh, I think it was only like 3 nights. The first night was like extremely cold, and by the third night, there's like water leaking through my tent, just like dripping on my face in the middle of the night. And I'm just like, okay, I'm done with this. We need to get out of here.
That's still quite a long time to go camping though. Like sleeping in a tent 3 nights in a row is
Yeah, we got sleeping bags. It's not too bad.
I guess you're right.
Well, how was the trip?
The trip itself was good overall. I don't know what you'd define as like a good trip versus a bad trip though.
Bro, our trip was hectic. So
Our trip, I would define. I mean, I've only done it once, obviously, so I have no comparisons to draw. But I would say ours was like great.
Oh yeah,
Really
definitely.
good.
Yeah.
In terms of just what we got out of it, in the
Yeah.
experience.
I don't know. Did you have a big fucking anxiety attack? Did you think that you were going to die? Did your ego dissolve and then you'd lose grasp of what makes you human?
Almost.
All right, so you were on the verge of it. In that case,
Yeah.
it was probably a wholly good trip.
Yeah, it was. There was a difficult time during it, which I fully expected was probably going to happen. But overall, in the end, it was still a good trip overall. That's the best way
Well,
to
good.
describe it.
You can tell it's a good trip because you know it was a good trip. You know a bad
Yeah.
trip's a bad trip when after you do acid, you go, I'm never doing this fucking drug again. And that was a bad trip and that was a nightmare. So I'm pretty sure you
Oh
had
no,
the
I'd
right
definitely
time.
do it again. No, 100%.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, a bad trip is like a fucking horrific nightmare.
Yeah.
So,
It's not fun. It's
Yeah.
not fun.
I mean, is what you're saying like it was maybe just a little more mediocre than our trip we had together in terms of like what you got out of it or the experience overall, or was it just a different kind of experience?
It was a different experience because it was odd. I took like the full tab, but I don't know if it was as strong. Actually, no, it was probably stronger than what we had in Melbourne. But the odd thing is it was more like introspective and like auditory than it was visuals. I didn't get like any visuals at all. And I was like up in like Maine camping on like a lake and shit like that. And there's like the woods. It was like very gorgeous and like it's fall up there because y'all are in Australia, New Zealand.
What time of the day were you peaking?
I think we took it at like 9 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's usually when you're supposed to time it. Is take it like very early in the morning.
Yeah, take it around noon.
Nah, bro, night time's way more hectic.
No, fuck that. You'd be.
I don't know if I'd
bored
want
in
to
the
trip
woods.
on acid at night in a forest. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
It would be so good, bro. I'd love it.
I tripped at like fucking. I dropped at 11 p.m. once, and it was just up the whole night until like 7 or 8 in the morning. Completely fucked my sleep schedule up.
Wait, is this the time? Did you do this by yourself?
No, this was with a couple of my friends back when I lived in my house.
Is this the time where I spoke to you like the next day when you were still like coming down from it and you like said you had the cosmic kind of what do you call it? Cosmic gunk in your head. We played with Charborg and you said you just did an acid trip. Do you remember that?
Oh, that was after my bad one. This is the one before that.
Oh, okay.
So this was just like, it was me and a bunch of my friends, and my friend brought his speakers over. He bought these huge amps and subwoofers over, and we just listened to music and we watched trippy video playlist. We went in and out of a VR. And just fucked around. It was a really good, really wholesome time.
Damn, VR. I can't imagine.
That was like when I just moved in. When I just moved into my house. It was maybe like a week or two after.
How many times have you done it total?
Including the one in Melbourne, I think it'd be 5.
Damn. Over like what space of time? Like when was the first time you did it?
3 days.
No,
One crazy week of acid.
I'd say about a year. Just about a year,
Okay.
year and a half.
Damn, that's quite a lot for a year.
Not really, dude. I got friends that have tripped 20, 25 times, 30, 40 times in a year.
Jesus.
Yeah, I got some real psychonaut friends.
At what point do you consider it like a problem? When I can-
You're a heavy abuser of LSD when you take it twice in a week.
Really? Like, I don't know if it's a good idea. I mean, taking like half to a full tab or more, even once a fortnight, to me sounds like
Yeah, exactly. Which is why it's categorized as being like, obsessively, compulsively taking acid.
Yeah, but you said twice in 1 week.
Yeah,
And
twice in 1 week.
that's-
That's a problem. But there are people that do that. That's like an indicator of like an issue or something. Those are called heavy acid users.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do more than like once a month.
That's fucked.
at most. Like that's.
We should do a mad like trip where we just fucking play VR on acid. Like that'd be hectic.
Dude, LSD and VR is just, it is insane. It is absolutely insane.
Imagine 12 cunts running around on VR chat on acid. Bro, that would be fucked, cunt. Holy shit.
Just put on like a space simulation where you're just floating through space.
Just go Elite
Imagine that.
Dangerous. Just do Elite Dangerous VR.
We'll do like a roller coaster.
Oh, fuck yeah. I like loading up virtual desktop and going to the moon, or loading up Milk Drop and listening to an album and looking at the fucking
Oh
visuals.
yeah, dude, the audio was insane when I was out camping. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
that shit's crazy.
Me and my friends, we bought these Bose speakers. We found online these Bluetooth speakers. But what's cool about them is that you can like hook them up to the app, and if you get like 2 of them, it'll like sync them together and do them in stereo.
Ooh.
So you can like hold these speakers and like in your hand, and you're like, when you like hold it up in front of you, it's like you're showering yourself in the music. It's so like I can't describe it. It was the most amazing thing ever.
I know exactly what you mean.
It's
That's wild.
and it's like you start noticing stuff in songs that you've never heard before. Like you can hear details. Like for instance, I was listening to I think what was it? It was like Feel Good Inc. or something. And then on the part of the song where he says like turn forever or some shit, you can hear like the song itself stays the same, but literally just the words itself like turns in a circle. And I've like never noticed that before. And it's
I
like,
mean, like it
holy
circles in the stereo sort of thing. Like it
no,
goes
like
around
I don't know how to describe it, but like if the song itself was like a big like white poster board and you're holding it in front of you, you hear the word, like the words itself, like just the lyrics turn in a circle, like clockwise.
You're fucked.
You were
Dude.
definitely on acid.
No, dude, it actually. I listened to it again.
The fact that you're describing this as though it's a rational thought while sober is concerning.
No, I listened to it again. I shit you not. If you listen carefully, you can tell it actually does it. I've just never noticed it before.
It turns in a circle.
Yeah.
The lyrics.
Totally fucked yourself.
Yes, I'm not kidding.
He's more cooked than
Feel
me,
Good
boys.
Inc. by put on Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz and listen to it. Listen carefully.
I think you fucked up your wiring, Matt. I think
No,
you might
man.
have fucked yourself.
No, listen to it. I've always
No,
heard, like,
man,
when he
I've
says it.
never been more awake.
All right. People listening to this, you listen to it. You tell me.
Was your experience like a very communal thing with your friends, or was it more of a solo journey this time around?
Oh no, it was more communal
Okay.
than I think. Well, the problem is they took 3 tabs and I only took 1.
Oh
so
my
they
God.
God.
They've
3
done it like
tabs?
they've done it plenty of times before, but
How many micrograms per tab?
I think it was 150.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well they've done it way more times. They know what they're doing and what they're getting into. So, but it was
3 tabs, but that's
I would never go above 1 tab,
was-
dude. I would never go above 1 tab.
That's fucked, man.
It was
Imagine
funny as
having a bad
hell at
trip
the-
on that high a dose. That is like
That's
gonna
psychosis
fuck you up.
territory, dude. That is
Yeah,
like
fuck
nothing's
that.
real.
Yeah, PTSD.
Yeah, it's like jump out a window type shit.
I know people that have done more than 3 and been fine.
yeah.
I know, but I'm saying like if you had a bad trip on 3 or more,
Yeah,
you're
fuck
gonna
that,
have
yeah.
a really bad time.
I remember my friend John came over. I don't know if I told this story, but he comes over with his girlfriend, and I'm like, oh hey, what's up, guys? Back when I lived in my house, and this girl goes, yeah, John's on 6 tabs of acid.
Okay, yeah,
600
no.
mics.
No.
And I was like, okay, well, you could have told me that before he came over, but whatever. And so, he's just doing his thing, sits on the couch. I'm like, well, I got to make some dinner. So, I'm like making fucking macaroni and cheese and playing some music for John. And I go back through the kitchen into the living room, and he's opened up one of my cupboards and is just lying in it head first, lying in this cupboard. And I'm like,
Wait.
are you all right? He's literally planking with his head in the cupboard.
All right. On the floor.
Yeah, on the floor.
Right.
And I'm just like, are you all right? Like, are you good? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm really comfortable. And I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine. I was like, do you want to go into VR? I could set up the VR set. He's like, oh yeah, please. So I put him in the VR set. I'm like, what song do you want to listen to? He gives me an album. I put on the album. I put him in Milk Drop, which is that 3D audio visualizer, and I just let him stew. Let him simmer.
That's insane.
And I'm just talking with his girlfriend, and she's like, we should check on him. And we check on him. He's just standing there, like feet planted to the ground, arms gripping the armrest, and just like breathing really heavily. And we just check on him, and we're like, hey, man, you good? He goes, yeah, I just broke through. And we're like, really? He's like, yeah, like I actually broke through. And I still don't know what that really means, what the whole breaking through thing is.
I was gonna ask you to describe what that meant for the viewers.
He kind of described it, and I can kind of see where he was coming from, because I felt a similar kind of, I guess, feeling during an acid trip, where you feel like you're connected to the universe and like a collective consciousness, and that there's no such thing as death,
Yeah.
and that everybody lives forever through like a repeating refraction of fucking consciousness, all that kind of shit. So he was just telling me that epiphany, and I was like, all right, word. Glad you had a good time. And then I finished my macaroni and cheese, and then we watched the movie, and then they left. So
Nice.
yeah, that was that.
Crazy. What was I gonna say?
I can continue on mine.
Yeah, I was
There's-
gonna ask you a question about your trip, but I forget it. But yeah, carry on.
Oh, but yeah, my friends took way more than I did, obviously. But the problem was, one of them didn't eat breakfast beforehand, so his obviously kicked in way faster because they were like gummies. They were like dropped on gummies, like little gummy bears, and we had those. And he was like, oh my God, it was like mentally, he was like at the stage where he was just a child, He was literally like, we had like
That's what happened.
yeah, and we all,
Modeling babe.
yeah, all of us have ADHD really badly, but him, like, when it just like seeing like a 7-year-old on ADHD just walking around, and like me and my other friend were sitting there, like we're slowly getting there, but he's like he's fucking gone. He's like, come on guys, let's go do this shit, come on guys. And then that made me realize, holy fuck, I am so not ready for kids yet. Like, fuck that shit. Like, anyone who says
I
they
don't
are,
think you
like,
can
All right,
compare.
boys, calm down. We gotta have sex first, all right?
I don't think you can compare having kids to how your friend was tripping on fucking
I don't know,
3
dude.
tabs of
That's
acid.
kind of what it
Pretty
does.
similar.
It makes you like
it's
a kid.
pretty fucking similar.
Yeah.
You know, the way I'm going to raise my kids is I'm going to treat them until the age of 5 like they're on LSD. Because that's pretty much what it is. I'm just going to...
Well, you gonna put them in VR and let them plank in the closet?
Yeah, dude. Of course.
And then break through and then talk about everything about being a consciousness.
Yeah.
Your 5-year-old wakes you up one night. He's like, Dad, I just broke through. Like, what the fuck do you mean, son?
My God,
Dad,
son. Finally.
Dad, I'm a grown man now. I'm a grown man in a child's body. I broke through. I skipped my development.
About fucking time.
What I was going to ask you on it is because when we were on it, at least for me, it felt like we were all on the same wavelength and we were kind of connected in some sense. Did you feel like you were connected to your friends in the same way, given that they were on a higher dose?
No, that was actually the weird part. I was kind of wondering if that was going to be a thing, and it is. Like, they were just on totally different wavelengths because they were way more.
Oh, yeah.
And while there's like, it was like 3 different wavelengths, but like, it felt legitimately hard to like talk and communicate with them because their mind was just somewhere else. And it's like, they just were like telepathically knowing what each other was thinking. It was weird for a while.
That's insane.
Dude,
That
it's just
freaks me the fuck
Dude,
out.
like when you're on like over 300 mics, shit just gets fucking weird. I remember in college there was this. You had this group acid trip with like 7 people. It was we labeled it the hive mind acid trip because we were all literally like part of this hive mind where we like knew exactly what we were doing and like everyone was having the same thoughts. It was so trippy. I don't know if it's because we were fucked up or because, I don't know, there's something weird about it. But I recall that my friend Dave had to go to Thanksgiving dinner with his sister on LSD, which we were like, why would you drop acid today if you were going to a Thanksgiving dinner with your sister? And he's like, oh, I forgot about it. I was like, dude, it's Thanksgiving, you know, that kind of thing. And so he had to leave, and that broke up the hive mind. So people started to freak a little bit because we were missing one of our 7 pieces. And
shit.
so I was like, okay, you know what we should do? We should smoke some weed, you know, because that'll help, right? So it's me, 2 other friends, and then my friend Zach. And Zach was on, I think, 300 mics. So we're walking out to the Crack Shack, this fucking, you know, the place where we smoke weed off campus. And as we're walking, it's getting darker, and it's pretty much nighttime by the time we're almost there. And Zach just says to us like, "Oh, I don't think smoking weed's a good idea. I think I'm just gonna leave." And we were like, "Okay, bye." And then he started walking off. We were like, wait, you know you can just come with us, right? You don't have to smoke weed. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then he comes with us. And then he was like, sorry, I was bugging back there. And we were like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, I could only see 2 feet in front of me in every direction. It was just black after that. And we were like, what? What? He goes, yeah.
Only separating from the group would be a terrible idea in that situation.
Yeah. We're happy he didn't, but we smoked weed and shit just got fucking ridiculous, dude. It was just paranoia. My friend thought that my other friend was mad at him, even though he wasn't at all. And then we were just like arguing with each other about whether or not we should go to the apartment or we should go to this gazebo and fucking chill there and then rendezvous with everyone. And I was like, dude, we should just go back to the apartment. And then my other friend was adamant that we didn't. And it was this big fucking argument we ended up getting into on acid walking back. And I opened the door to my apartment. I sit down. My friend Evan's there. He takes a seat, and he is bugging out. He is straight up bugging out. He looked in the mirror, and he was just freaking out. And he's like, "It's like, dude, I'm hungry, like I'm thirsty." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll get you water, and I'll get you like these planter peanuts." And we had like these. It was like these jars of peanuts, like plastic bottles filled with peanuts. Yeah. So we had 2 of them. But because like people were taking them in and out of the room, he thought that there were like 7 of them. So every time we brought one back in, he'd be like, "Oh my God, it's another one!" And then he'd just start like fucking. He's just like, it was like a laugh, but then like a scared laugh. It was like a really scared, nervous laugh. Like he had no idea what was fucking going on. And he's staring at my face. He's sitting on the couch across from me. He's looking me dead in the eyes. He goes, "Hey, man, I don't mean to be rude, but your face is really fucking with me." I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I don't know, but it's really fucking with me." I was like, "Is it like melting?" He's like, "Yeah." And then I look up and I look at him, and I see his face, and like it was his head, and then behind him was a white wall, just a normal white painted wall, no texture or anything. And it was the outline of his head shooting out rainbow colors onto the back of the fucking white wall and just radiating like rippling waves. Just this fucking beautiful rainbow color. And I'm just looking at him and I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at you and you're really fucking with me right now. So and then and the funny thing is, we're still freaking out, and I'm like, dude, it's fine. In 2 hours, we'll be off our peak. We'll be fucking good. We'll be fine. And then Dave comes in. He got back from from the Thanksgiving dinner, and he's like, oh, hey, what's up with everybody? How are you guys doing? We're like, oh, well, we smoked some weed, and we're all kind of freaking out. And then he just goes, you guys smoked weed on an acid trip. You should have known what you were getting yourself into.
Yeah.
And then that made us freak out a little bit more. And then my friend Chris goes, Dave, that's exactly the kind of thing you shouldn't tell somebody when they know they got something that they didn't want to get into.
Yeah. Just increase the paranoia. So you're telling me Dave went to Thanksgiving dinner on acid?
Oh,
with
yeah.
his family?
Not with his family. It was only with his sister and her friends, apparently, which is, and it was funny because he got scared because there was black people there.
Okay, elaborate.
They really intimidated him, and he thought he was a racist. And then he kept thinking about how he might be a racist. And
It's like this moral identity crisis. Like, I didn't think I was racist until now.
So he was visibly shaking. He was visibly afraid of her black friends. It was really
how
bad.
terrible.
I know, right? And after the trip, he's like, "Oh yeah, that was just me overthinking things and being on acid." So, the guy's not a racist. He's pretty good.
I was under the impression that Dave wasn't a white guy.
No, Dave's
I've seen,
white.
like a photo of him.
No, he's Jewish. It's the same fucking
Classic.
thing.
Cool. All right.
Yep.
Inut, let's go back
Yeah.
to you. This has just become a whole fucking LSD episode again.
Here we go.
Yeah,
again.
hasn't it?
But that's okay. People like hearing this stuff. I
Yeah.
guess. I hope. God forbid.
Hi, Dad. Yeah, didn't mention the other times I did acid, but okay.
The whole hive mind thing is the thing that fucks with me the
Yeah.
most about it.
What's hive mind?
It sounds so, Mason. What I'm talking about is how, remember on our trip how we
we made eye contact and we'd be like, oh, what the?
we
yeah,
felt
yeah,
connected,
yeah.
right? We felt like we were on the same frequency, and Jay was on a different frequency because he was sober. Did you feel that?
Yeah,
And it sounds
that's what
retarded.
it was. That's why we were dying of laughter. 'Cause
And
we're just like,
Mason kept pointing at Jay. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like and it sounds like some mumbo jumbo, right? It sounds like a conspiracy. It sounds like just bro science, and probably is because we don't fucking know what we're talking about. But I'm telling you, that was a real fucking thing. It felt like a real.
It was
thing.
weird. It was like acid literally turns you into a dog cunt.
All right.
Yeah, it's like you're like orca whales. You're communicating with fucking sonic sounds, and inaudible sounds. Yeah, so you took less than your friends, and you felt like you were kind of not on the same wavelength.
Oh, yeah.
Did you feel was it kind of lonely in that sense? Did you feel like for a minute
In a sense, yeah, I could see that. It was just harder to communicate with them in general because they were just I don't know how to describe it besides the fact they were just on a different wavelength. It's like I could communicate with them, but at the same time I couldn't.
Right.
Because they would I'd mention something and I'd say one thing to them, and then they'd just go back and forth between each other really quickly, rattling shit off at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys even saying right now?
Right. Fucking hypothetical. Let's say you show up to your friend's band practice with a bunch of musicians and you're not a musician, and they're kind of all talking about music a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And they're including you in the conversation, but for a majority of it, they're talking using terms you don't understand, and they're fucking doing their thing so that you can't really be a part of without them.
Actually, yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it, to be honest.
Interesting. What was the come down like?
It's pretty slow overall. That's when we just smoked most of the time. We actually did that for a lot during it. I never actually had any bad experience with smoking during it.
Right.
Because
Be
I was
careful.
like, oh, I'm not getting in it. Yeah. I was very
Be
careful.
really,
and
really careful.
Yeah. I was kind of self-aware, especially because I was like, oh, there's no visuals. Okay, I guess I can just smoke to kick up the visuals because obviously the shit's weak, but it really wasn't. It was way more introspective, and I'm honestly glad it was in that sense. or at least what I wanted to get out of the trip. I'm glad it was.
So you learned a few things like and got some stuff out of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
It was fun when we were
That's
just
sick.
like playing the dumb game of like breaking everything down and like the whole universe and stuff like that. We're like, dude, we're cavemen, man. We're fucking out here, man. We're out in the woods. We really in this bitch, man. Like we're like standing in front of this fire we made. We're like, dude, this is like the most.
fucking do, boys.
But yeah, it's like we're just standing there, like holding our hands up to the fire, and we're like, dude, we were programmed to know that this feels good. I just feel there was just something so primal about it, just holding my hands up to like the fire to warm myself, you know. And I was just like,
Yeah, I
holy
think
shit.
camping on acid sounds fun, dude.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth it going out in like nature to do shit like that.
Especially when you jump into the fire with no clothes on.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna go there.
No, that'd be really
not
fun
that
on
crazy.
acid, though.
Oh,
can imagine.
the hardest part was getting food because I was trying to keep my diet going with the keto and everything. So I bought like a bunch of meat and stuff like that. And it is not fun to try and cook meat on LSD. I'll say that.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah,
It's
you
like-
just want to eat it raw.
Yeah, no, not that. Like over a campfire, like I'm cooking this big sausage or a bratwurst on the pan over a fire at dark, and I can't see, and I'm using my phone light to look at it, and I look in the thing, and it's just like. You realize what it is. You're like, dude, this is kind of fucked up. This is like some dead animal. This is like chopped up like shit in there, man.
I mean, it's primal. It's primal,
so
right?
primal,
You can touch
just
their
like-
caveman side.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, and I was like,
Might
dude,
as
I
well
can't
have
tell
eaten
if
it
this is
raw.
Cooked. Oh no, I think I burnt it, but either way, I'm glad I didn't eat it raw.
He was making sure it was extra cooked.
Yeah, I just didn't want to risk it raw because I could not judge how well I was cooking stuff.
Fuck.
That's also the thing, eating food on it. I get what everybody says now where you just don't want to eat junk food. You only want to eat stuff like fruit and really natural stuff because you taste stuff like Cheez-Its. Like we had like caramel covered popcorn and Cheez-Its and some stuff. I'm like, this is
Dude, dark
actually
chocolate is so
disgusting.
good. It's so good on that. Just like nice, bitter, dark chocolate.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Didn't have chocolate, but I had like a strawberry and like part of an apple, and it was just so delicious and like
Ooh, that's not
nutritious.
keto.
It just, yeah, I know. Obviously, I couldn't fucking continue keto out there. I tried my best. I had like bacon and sausage, but after a while, it's kind of hard to keep. Every time you need to get a meal, you have to start the
matter
fucking
if you-
campfire.
Well, it doesn't
going.
fucking matter. I'm just busting
Yeah.
your balls.
But yeah, it was interesting trying out like all the different foods and stuff like that. So the trip was different in that regard, where it's more of that kind of stuff and less like the visual stuff and like running around doing stupid shit like in Melbourne.
Right. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know when we'll do it all again with our group.
It's got to
but,
be shrooms. We got to do shrooms next.
I reckon, yeah, but probably not till like a later date.
Yeah, we
You know,
gotta.
I don't really feel like doing it super soon.
We need to take another step.
Yeah, we need
somewhere.
to take an eighth of shrooms and then turn into cubes.
Okay.
Like my friend, my fucking roommate in college.
Does that shit really make you like feel like a cube?
That's what he told me. I was fucking editing I was editing a video. He sat down on the fucking rug floor.
No, you've told us
Yeah,
this. You've told us this.
Pops open
Very
his fucking collar of his shirt, looks down into his stomach, and just goes, "Dude, I'm a cube, bro. I'm a fucking cube." Just looking at fucking headphones off. I'm like, "Huh? You're a cube?" Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe
you told us
we
on the
could do
podcast
that.
before. So
Have
we
I
should
really?
retell it
What are
again,
you?
but
What are
yeah,
your? What are your takes on salvia?
Don't ever do salvia.
No.
Don't ever fucking do salvia.
Bro, let's put me in a white room and test me with it.
No.
Yeah, bro.
You'll
Let's do it.
actually
No.
lose your mind at that point.
I'll start
It's
headbutting
unironically.
walls, bro.
If you ever did salvia, you just jump straight out a window. You would just jump
I must-
headfirst out a fucking window.
I must have told the story about like my friend Salvia trip about the fucking houses in a red and yellow universe on a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's not good, dude. That shit's
Fuck
not
that,
fucking
yeah.
good for you.
Dude, I want to feel that.
No, you don't. No, you
Oh,
honestly
don't.
do
No,
not.
you don't.
Salvia divinorum is fucked. Stay away from it.
You're such a fucking junkie, Zuckles. You just like chasing. You just like you fucking.
Well, give me a fucking GTR, mate, or something for a bit.
No, die in a car crash.
No, mate.
Driving on
Oh,
Salvia.
no. I mean, how long does salvia even last? It's only like a minute, right?
It's like 5 to 10 minutes.
Right.
But doesn't it feel like way longer or some shit? Like it feels like a year or something?
Well, sometimes it feels like a lifetime.
Yeah.
In LA, we watched this guy on the TV take salvia, and bro, he was trying to plant something, and like he smoked it and went to like plant something, and then he just started like rolling on the ground and shit.
Yeah, that's internet common etiquette, I think. His old channel.
Really?
Gardening on salvia.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's fucked,
Yeah,
bro.
he did. He did driving on salvia too, which is and the whole joke. The whole joke is like he's going to perform a task while smoking salvia, and then he smokes salvia and he's completely incapacitated for like 10 minutes. Like that's the entire joke because you can't do fucking anything on salvia.
Yeah. I see. There's this video on YouTube of these two like guys who I think are brothers doing it on their front porch, and they just fucking plank it straight into the stairs, as, like right after the hit.
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
rolling around
yeah,
and groaning,
I
and
saw
they're
that,
like blind, like duh, duh, just making
And then
noises.
the parents come out.
Yeah. Then their dad comes out. He's like, "Cody, what the fuck are you doing? Come on, Cody."
Come on,
trying to smack some
Cody.
sense into who doesn't know. He's
Not
like, "Jesus
again,
Christ,
Cody."
not again."
Oh my god! Just another day on the front porch.
The real way to do salvia is to chew the actual leaf in the dark, in a dark room temperature room, and just do that. Because like how it interacts is that during your trip you're really like susceptible to be influenced by like sensory input. So people talking, music, shit like that could really fuck with your trip. So how the natives in like Oaxaca, Mexico did it is that they would chew the leaves and just the leaves. But what us, the fucking Westerners, do is that we get the leaves and then we create an extract. So like we have 10x, 20x, all the way up to like 300x, which is 10 times a leaf or 300 times a leaf. And you take a bong hit of 300x and you're fucked. You are actually fucked. You become a grasshopper, you get mowed over by a lawnmower, you feel the pain, and then it happens 1,000 times and then you wake up. So,
what the
yeah, stay the fuck away from salvia.
Yeah,
Don't
I
do
wonder what it'll be
salvia.
like to do something like that, or something like even LSD in a isolation tank.
Oh, that'd be
Like
odd.
One of those.
How about
One of those
DMT?
tanks where, like a sensory deprivation tank, where you're just kind of floating on like salt water, and it just you can't feel anything or see anything.
There's
or
no
hear
way you
anything.
wouldn't like lose your mind in there. Like
I'd
if you're just
rather do
completely
that
deprived.
stoned. If I did that stoned, I think
Yeah.
I'd have a much better time. Maybe not on edibles. On edibles, I'd probably drown.
Just go face first and forget to breathe.
Oh my
Probably
god!
wouldn't fucking happen.
Like you like put him in there. Like, all right, we'll see you in an hour. Like open the tub up. He's just fucking
He's
dead.
fucking
just face
floating.
down, floating in the tub.
Oh
Jesus,
my
that's
God.
morbid.
All right, well, awesome. Well, anyway, love talking about drugs.
Oh, where we got carried away. So you gotta
Welcome back to
fucking.
the
I
Drugs
mean,
Podcast again, episode 13.
to be fair, the recent episodes haven't been too drug heavy, so it's about time we caught up on a bit of.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we're slacking on the
drug
drug
talk.
stories. My bad.
People get mad at us when we talk about fucking keto for 10 minutes of an episode, so it's good that we fucking
Yeah, I have a
bring
rash.
it back to our roots.
Yeah, keto rash. I'm off keto now. Rest in peace.
I reckon you're allergic to something that you've been eating. I reckon you're
It
like
could be
a reaction.
avocados.
That seems like a weird thing to be allergic to, right? Like
Yeah, but like I didn't get this rash until I ate an avocado bowl at a fucking restaurant.
Your body's just like not used to health food or some shit. It's just used to like stupid college kid junk food or something. Who
Yeah,
knows?
fucking probably. Just leeching fucking toxins out of my sweat and giving me a fucking rash. My dad freaked out, dude. My dad was like, I'm making you soup and rice right now and you're going to eat the whole fucking bowl. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, he was like,
yeah.
he thought I was dying, dude.
This is gonna demonize it in your dad's eyes forever. He's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
like, don't do it again, man. You fucking
Yep.
what happened last time. Yeah, it is a pretty intense thing to just chuck your body straight into without warning. You know, like if you're used to a super, I don't know, or less healthy diet, or like a super high carb diet, or like an average American diet, and just going straight into keto, like hardcore cold.
Oh
turkey,
yeah, I might go.
that's
Yeah.
Probably gonna.
I might just go like eat clean, like paleo kind of shit for like the next month, and still do intermittent fasting, and then at a point try to like lower my carbs. Like 1 week it'll be 30 carbs or like 50 carbs, then 40, 30, and then down to like 25, and then I'll try to keep it
Yeah.
at 25 carbs, and
Yeah, same.
I should be good.
Yeah, let's stop talking about diet because we're slipping into it again.
It's like, hey guys, so today I'm on the Mediterranean diet. Today I'm on keto again. All right, now I'm on this one.
Today, guys, I've decided to stop eating overall. I just think it's a really negative thing in my life.
Yeah,
no
I'm
more
tripped
food.
as fuck, and I'm gonna go back to the pantry and grab some Doritos and eat the whole bag. So,
Are you being serious? You're gonna
Oh God,
Do that.
no. That's after the podcast.
Oh, okay. Nathan, how's life been for you since you got home from your trip?
Oh yeah, pretty fucking shit. Yeah.
Pretty shit. What do you mean, just boring?
Yeah. It's just down in the dumps, man. Just haven't been feeling as much lately, eh?
Why are you sounding like you're sarcastic right now? Like, are you being sarcastic or are you?
This
being
is how we
serious?
sounded at the start of the podcast too.
I know. It's like
Just trying to him to play it off casually.
I don't know what you mean.
you're talking like you're being sarcastic, but it sounds like you're telling the truth. Like, what's going on?
I don't know what you're on about.
Fuck, you're such a
Okay.
frustrated person to communicate with.
It's like talking to a brick.
Okay,
a brick
well,
of hash.
I'm just gonna presume that this heavily sarcastic tone is just your normal voice now. Okay.
All right.
So you've been down in the dumps. Why?
Yeah. And?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the one who fucking
Oh yeah, I've been like putting heaps of like chuffed Instagram stories up and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I've sort of just been letting you do your thing. I haven't been warning you against or anything.
What is it? What do you think from the sidelines, anyways?
I just see a kid who's fucking at home, bored, gets high, and then be's a retard on social media, but is also probably kind of, I don't know. I think you're sort of struggling with I think a really deep part of you wants to push against the boundaries of like what is okay for you to do in the limelight and what isn't.
Yeah.
Like what is okay to like fucking say online, to talk about, to do. So you're kind of just like doing some crazy shit on your Instagram story or tweeting random shit just to kind of push the boundaries a bit.
I was having to think last night, and I was chuffed,
Of course.
and I'm like, fuck, like I want to smoke weed like every day, but
I get
like,
nothing done.
is my brain finished developing yet? And when does it stop? So that way I know I'm ready.
24.
25, 24.
No, I mean, the male brain, like, the brain doesn't stop developing really. Like,
But they say you shouldn't do things like weed and stuff until you're 24.
Oh, well, I'm a bit too early.
Hey,
I don't know, I
Mason,
think that's like it's like up to you, obviously. But
could I ask what the ending of your latest video was? Was that you trying to breakdance?
I was just having a roll on the ground, mate.
You do realize you didn't have like any subscribe to Mason, any like videos pop up at the end there?
No fucking
was-
outro,
that's
just him
alright.
breakdancing.
It's literally just you rolling around on the floor.
Mason, what is your like view on your career right now? Like, what is your view on it?
I just don't know, mate.
So you're just kind of figuring it out, I guess, or
Yeah, one day at a time, man.
like, do you enjoy making videos?
Yeah.
So, and like, do you want to be like more consistent with your videos, or like get into like a system where you're uploading like some, I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know.
consistent form of content, or are you just kind of playing it by ear, so winging it?
I think I'm just playing it by ear, until we can get ourselves sorted.
Yeah, I mean, you tweeted out the other week that you enjoy life best when you have no idea what the fuck's going on. So,
Yeah, it's a pretty good life.
each to their own, I guess. I mean, you kind of let me explain why you're doing the Insta story things for you. Like, what, from your perspective, why you fucking being crazy on Instagram? Like, you literally said the N word to your dog on Instagram the other day, which was a little bit.
Bro, I was
it was
talking to
sus.
my dogs for like half an hour. Like,
Okay.
Why?
can I not just talk with my dogs? Like, I'm just sharing.
Of course you can.
I'm just sharing with the net how I'm talking with my dogs.
I know, but like when you call your dog the N word,
They're my boys, but
No, but you see where I'm coming from, like from a rational perspective here.
people want to see in the life of Mason so much. But that's just what's going on.
It's one thing that you have to censor. One single word.
Ook.
One day, Mason, I'm gonna really fucking get to the bottom of you. I'm really gonna fucking figure out how the fuck your brain works.
Well, I mean, I'm deeper than Davy Jones, mate. So.
Definitely due for a Mind of Mason episode 2. Definitely. I mean, people fucking. You know how much people enjoyed listening to you talk like on the Mind of Mason episode.
That's hectic.
People love it, man. A lot of people actually related to you a lot as well, which is interesting.
I'm glad, boys. I'm glad.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should do something like that again. It doesn't have to be fucking heavy. It was kind of heavy last time.
It was bullets, mate.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's entertaining to fucking listen to how your brain works and how you fucking
You just pick your brain.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to the trip we got coming up with the
Which
boys?
trip? What the fuck?
PAX.
We're
PAX.
seeing
Oh,
you.
yes, dude. Wait, how long till it's up?
2 weeks.
It's like
Literally 2 weeks.
Very close.
Yes, boys. Dude, we need to do heaps of edibles. Heaps.
All right.
Heaps, bro.
I'm good, mate.
You know what's funny about edibles is ever since I came back from LA, ever since I had that experience where you can listen to this on, I think it's the Don't Do Drugs episode of the podcast. Can't remember what number. But we had this like amazing, like half the night was awesome, half the night was like a bad experience where Ryan was throwing up and Mason was waddling around in his underpants.
He filled a nacho bowl up with vomit.
Yeah.
so
go listen to that podcast if you want the whole
And
story.
it sat there overnight.
Oh, it's disgusting.
fuck?
It was horrific. But ever
Like
since that experience,
Soft
I
serve.
fucking
It looked like a wet sand pit, bro.
yeah, it was fucking horrific. No, ever since that, I, you know, when I smoke weed, I'm like, this is just not doing shit for me anymore. I think it like actually like increased my tolerance just by 1,000,000% or something. Because I mean, when I get high, like remember when? Oh no, we were on edibles that time, so that doesn't count. But when we smoked weed in Melbourne the last time, all I could think when I was in it was like, yeah, I'm high, but like, I'm not that chuffed like I was in LA, you know, sort of thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's because you got to do a bunch of edibles and then you got to give yourself a mission to complete. That's how I see it.
oh, I love it. I really do. That was, I mean, despite how kind of scary it got in the middle of that night in LA, it was
Bro,
like,
it was hectic.
it was hectic, right? It was like,
Bro, my
interesting.
half my body emptied with fluids. Like fuck.
Oh,
All
I've never seen a
all
more.
kinds of fluids came out that night, boys.
I've never seen a more dehydrated cunt than Mason in LA because it's so fucking hot and he's constantly on fucking edibles and just sweating it all out. So he's just, you just look parched. Like
I
you look
just
like
never drink
SpongeBob.
water, bro.
You look like SpongeBob and Sandy's like fishbowl tank. That's how you look.
Yes.
Yeah. We got to get up to shenanigans. We only got 2 stories out of the last trip, which, when you think about how long the episodes are, is actually pretty good because it's, you know, it's quite a lot of content
Yeah.
to fill. Like, but
I mean, it was
definitely gotta make
multiple
sure.
stories, but just 2
Yeah.
podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so
Can
much.
I just point out that before the podcast, Swagger posted a picture of a fan art of Fitz fucking Swagger in the ass. So every time I look at my second monitor during this recording, I'm just greeted by this glorious
Yeah,
picture
I had
of Fitz
to
fucking
go
Swagger.
up to the main chant. I don't want to look at it
Same.
anymore.
I just don't want to look at that shit.
Swagger's like way taller than Fitz in this picture.
It makes no sense.
We were in our clothes as well. I've been looking at this picture the whole time, but just not even fazed by it. I'm just looking at it like talking.
I just
like
think it's
normal,
funny.
you know? But yeah, there's something about this picture that's kind of disturbing. So thank you to whoever sent us the fan out of me fucking Swagger sauce. Please don't send any more.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks a bit weird, bro.
It's sus.
It's just a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not the best. Cool. Anything else we should talk about, or should we fucking wrap this bad
Let's
boy
wrap
up?
it
I
up.
know. I think you should finish it up with the quote in that little bubble there, Swags.
Yeet me, Fitzy.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what Swagger's saying in the fan art. So fantastic. All right. Well, yeah. Hope you enjoyed listening to this fucking drug-infused podcast where we just talked about LSD and sativa for majority of it.
I just want to
education.
finish off and say I swear I'm not crazy about the whole song thing and the lyrics and shit. I swear to God, if you listen to
See-
the song and listen carefully, you'll notice it. It's very subtle.
If
just
you
only
said it
noticed for the first
rotated
time.
around you, I'll be like, yeah, okay, I get that. That happens in a lot of
go around
songs.
circles,
but
bro.
it spins in a circle. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, like the fucking people that get paid, they get paid to do that shit. Like the audio mixers and stuff to do the kind of stuff like that with songs.
All right.
That's normal.
Does
man.
it like pan to your left ear, go behind, and then pan to the right ear, and then go back in front?
No, I'm saying like it spins in a circle in front of you.
I know it's genuinely gone insane and just
I
saying.
think next time he's on acid, we should just give him a triangle, dude.
You can listen to it in the song.
It's so we're gonna listen to it with you after this, and you're gonna.
All right.
I'm gonna try and understand what you mean, but I'm pretty sure you've just completely lost your mind.
No, I swear
one
to
is.
God, I'm deadpan sober. I can hear it now.
There'll be one guy in the 5-star iTunes reviews down below who agrees with you, I'm sure. But until we read it, we won't know. Guys, thank you for listening to the Misfits podcast. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Misfits and on Instagram at Misfits. Everything.
I'm sorry. Fuck, that was just autism.
That was autism, but that's why the people show up. That's why they listen.
Yeah.
We've been the Misfits. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.